Hey, so welcome to you that's live and to you that will be watching this later. Let's come onto the ground. So we'll start on our backs. So just remove the height that you maybe had for sitting, and we'll come to that later. So I'm just recommending that you come onto the ground with your knees bent. Maybe you're standing on your feet. Maybe your palms are out to the side, palms faced up. Or perhaps you have a preference that they want to just be on the belly. I mean, where do you want them to be? Just notice first what you feel. We'll take time with this, just noticing what we feel. One of the things that I have been talking about for the last couple classes is just about listening and noticing before we make any adjustments. So that will continue to be the theme for today. So as we're in whatever position works best for us, notice what you feel. Some things are comfortable and some things aren't that comfortable. And then as you start to take stock of the different places that feel ease or places that feel kind of uncomfortable or with dis-ease or places that are neutral, just check to see if there's anything that you can do. Can you bring your mind to locations and soften things out? Like, so for example, for me, it's my left hip has a bit of a sensation sometimes when I lay on my back. And so I look at actually relaxing my opposite shoulder. So I look at relaxing my left shoulder blade a bit more to soften my right hip because I've discerned that that line seems to make sense talking to both parts. I'll have a few moments of that. And then now shift your awareness if you're finished with some of the obvious body parts, shift your awareness to breathing. So without changing a thing, just notice, where are you breathing? What parts expand, or where does the mind travel easily to follow breathing? There's just no hierarchical method of breathing. There is just literally what you are in this moment of breathing. Sometimes in yoga, we imagine that there's a right way or a wrong way or sort of a better way of doing anything. And we could keep going there, or we could literally have a relationship with our nervous system that suggests we're like kind of good enough as we are. So let's just stay with that as a thought for a few more breaths. And then by softening the concept of like rightness and wrongness and kind of coming in between into some middle land, did something shift with your breathing anyway, just on its own because you had different thoughts? Now let's take the hands and put the hands on the low belly, mid belly, around the belly button and above the pubic bone. So your hands are just here. So you feel your fingers as they relate to the abdomen, and you have a sense of noticing what breathing does as you get feedback into the fingers and the hands, the palms. So without shifting a thing or without saying, I am doing belly breath, you just literally notice, what does it feel like in your fingers doing breathing as you do breathing? So if we're looking to keep the mind with a clarity and like that deep spelunker's headlamp on that you can see and you can feel and discern in your own unique way what it feels like to be your fingers on the belly, it's something shift just with the notion of our attention in this region. It's something shift in our breathing. And when we use this kind of soft attention for breathing focus, does it feel like the abdomen's a jellyfish? Can we start to feel the movement like it's moving in water? Okay, let's take the backs of the fingers to the sides of the waist. So right at the sides, and there's just a light pressure. Sometimes we'll do this with a strong pressure, and sometimes we'll do this with a directive of breathing into the sides of the belly. But right now, as we're going to just keep following that we're really good enough as we are, let's just see what it feels like to be the fingers at the sides of our waist and notice that breathing occurs somewhere. And if it turns out the breathing is occurring, like the expansion is at the sides of the waist here, the side of the belly, is it even on the left and the right? So just have that noticing without changing a thing, without changing on purpose. Just because we directed the mind to the sides of the waist, does breathing occur here? Does expansion and awareness occur right here? Feedback into the hands, the fingers. Okay, let's take the hands back to the belly or somewhere that feels comfortable. I'm taking mine to the abdomen because now we're going to shift our awareness to the back of the abdomen. So that's really like the lumbar spine. So, what does it feel like to be your lumbar spine as you're breathing? And we know we have a floor below it, or maybe you're sitting and you've got a wall behind you. Let's just see what it feels like to be breathing, noticing this region. And the whole body still feel light as you bring yourself to an area that's a little harder to move, like a jellyfish, probably because it's got so many bones. It's different kind of concept. It's got the connection to the pelvis, it has the connection to the lowest back ribs. But can we still start to imagine that soft sort of jellyfish quality happening in the lower back just by noticing, by being there and not caring? When we're soft like this and we're not caring about outcome, notice the cadence or rhythm of your breathing. Like sometimes the breath will become shorter or it'll become longer or there'll be pauses. So just paying attention to what it is naturally occurring with other parts of the breath besides just where it's expanding. Okay, just pause the awareness like that and bring your knees in towards your chest. Sometimes I like to just cross my ankles and hold the opposite feet just because, or a foot, because my legs bend in easily. So this just feels like a nice, easy way that I can relax. But hold your legs in the way that works for you. Maybe it's behind the back of the thighs or around your shins. So we're looking to just change where the weight is so that it's not just solidly on the back of the pelvis for so long. Okay, release the knees to some degree. Just let them come away a bit so that you can move your knees from side to side. Your hands can support on either side. Your elbows are on the ground. And you're just having this massage at the back of the pelvis to get the blood flowing through the tissues there. I want to do just a little bit more breath awareness, but let's just make sure that the back feels happy as we're here. Okay, come back into the center, maybe take the feet down. And if you've decided that as you're laying here, you need a blanket under the back of your whole spine or the back of the pelvis, just take the shaping that you need. And then we'll come back to maybe the hands on the belly. So as we have the hands in a comfortable position, maybe they're on the abdomen, we're going to imagine blowing a balloon up. And so it's just going to come into the region of around the pubic bone and just a little bit inside and lower into this region. Like that's where the balloon will be blown up. And as you do, it's like the whole belly doesn't blow up here first by the ribs. It blows up low down first. So it's going to be like incremental expansion as we get to the ribs. It's going to be mostly in the belly. So let's just start this now. And you can even move your fingers up as you go to feel the slow expansion of the balloon base and to the top of the balloon. Okay, so just like take a breath in first, inhale and exhale. And then concentrate your awareness low around the pubic bone and start to expand a bit more muscularly instead of just soft, expanding higher up and higher up and higher up and higher up until you get to the lowest ribs. And then exhale all the way down to the base of that balloon opening. And then inhale, expanding evenly into the ground and into the front and into the sides, all the way to where you feel like your diaphragm is. It feels like you're making it a round balloon. And then exhale. Let's do this again. Inhale, incrementally expand, 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 expand. One more. And exhale and just pause. Now we're going to do that again, but we're going to include the rib cage. So you're going to be thinking that we're going to start here and you'll expand a little faster in that belly, full round belly expansion, because we did so many little ones into this low space here. So now we're going to expand into the belly and then up into the ribs, up to the shoulders and the neck. Okay, catch breath first in and out. And then go in, chest, in. Keep everything expanded as you inhale up and exhale it all back down. So just now do this at your own pace. You may go faster or slower, whatever works for you. You can have it smooth expanding, keeping the belly expanded even when you're up in the chest as you're going at your own pace, or you could do them as sips like we did at the beginning. Just feel it moving incrementally regardless of the way. And how do you do this as you just keep doing it at your own pace, maybe taking a catch breath? How do you keep that expansion in the belly when you then also expand up into the ribs? Because naturally that goes in. So it's a different kind of plunger moving of energy in the body and a different kind of massage around the bones of the skeleton, in the spine and the ribs. You'll find one more if you're able. And then once you've exhaled, just come down and pause, being at ease. What does the energy feel like in the body now after we've done that kind of movement, kind of dramatic movement? Okay. So let's do this with the arms. Have the arms out to the side. And you're going to roll the arms so that the palms face down, and then roll the arms so that the palms face up. And just roll. And notice, what are you using to do this? And you might not be able to discern what you're doing, but just stay in there, following what you can as the arms roll to face up and the palms roll to face down. So the whole arm is going to some degree, whatever that works for you. And you're just breathing. Okay, and then turn so the palms just face down. Pause. Now start to engage your shoulder blades and squeeze them behind you. So they're on the ground and they squeeze towards the spine. The palms still face down. Release. Squeeze behind you and then let the palms roll up to the sky. Release, roll the palms to face the ground. Keep the palms to face down. Squeeze the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Release. And then squeeze and let that roll the palms to face up. And then release and come down, palms face the ground, pause. Now, what does that feel like in the energy around the arms and the shoulders? Now, let's see if we can coordinate that the hands, the arms, upper arms and the shoulder heads and the shoulder blades move toward the spine as you roll. So they all go together to roll so the palms face up, and they all shift as palms face down. So rolling and squeezing and rolling to palms to face down and releasing. So just continue this at your own pace and just see, what is it that you're using? Is it the arm that instigates? Is it the shoulder blade? Can we find a way that they like to work together? I don't know. Which is your thing? Sometimes it's the fingers that start this. Sometimes it's the arm. at various locations. Sometimes it's the shoulder blade. So you're keeping going if you can, coordinating the arm, the shoulder blade, everything going, the palm faces up, everything releasing as the palm face down. Okay, one more with the palm face up and one more now with the palm face down, and just pause. Have a moment of ease. So what does the energy feel like in the body after we've done that? Okay, let's take the arms out to the side, and we're going to turn the right palm down and the left palm up, and take the arms out to the side, lifting above the ground by just like about, I don't know, 3-4 inches, something like that, and move the arms away from the spine. And let's just feel a bit of a standing quality of the feet and a bit of a standing of the base of the skull, lengthening the back of the neck down. And then lengthen out through the fingertips, and then rotate. The other palm is up, the other palm is down. Keeping the extension out through the fingertips and away from the spine, keeping the downward feel of your feet and your lumbar, base of your skull, back of the neck. Roll the other way. And so just continue to do this for a few more breaths if you can, where you just feel this widening, widening, widening. And you might even feel like you're getting a little bit longer or wider with the arms. Something is happening, like a kind of nerve tensioning. For me, I'm feeling it a lot in my hands on my left and in my wrist a bit on my left. Who knows where you're going to be feeling it as you expand, spreading the fingers. And now turn the head to face the left when the left palm is up. Turn the head to the right when the right palm is up. And so just find this kind of rolling and rolling and rolling. And one more with the head to the right and one more to the left. And then just release the arms wherever they go. Release the attention to the back of the skull, and just notice what breathing feels like now. Okay, take the hands behind the base of the skull and feel a bit of a standing quality in the feet. Feel a standing quality in the lower back, like it's coming down to the ground. We sometimes do this and we sometimes don't, but we are today. Bring your armpits a bit forward and up so your elbows go kind of to the ceiling and then a little bit behind you. And with your hands at the base of the skull, just curve your chin into the chest and curve to come up. And then just feeling one vertebra at a time as you go back down. And just see if you're able to just make a tap, but not release, and come back up. And go back down. So just continuing to curl up and down, and just seeing if you can feel that it's just about like you have some containment with the belly, just to the degree that it's because your feet are standing. The lumbar feels like has a standing foot in the ground. But this is just your upper back. So you're not like crunching up. So even though there might be some containment in the belly, it's not gathered and crunched in a way that you might in some other kind of curves like this. And you're starting to become really aware of the spine. Do we have any little jigs and jogs side to side with this, or does it feel even? What are the muscles on both sides of the spine feeling? And there's a bit of tension as you're leaning the head to the hands and hands lean to the head. And then when they make a little tap, there's just this slight extension where the chin goes a little bit up and then it curves back in towards the chest and curls up. Let's just find a couple more of those if that works for you. And this is going to be the last one up. And then let yourself come down, head down, arms down, pausing and breathing. So now notice where your feet are. See that they're a comfortable distance away from each other, comfortable distance away from your sitting bones. And you're going to lift the right hip up, and the knees are going to stay in this track where they're straight up and down like this, except your right knee might feel like it's moving towards your right toes. And so you're just going to feel this hip lift, and you're going to feel how it rotates around the left head of the femur bone. So we've done this a little bit before, and I just want you to feel this interesting kind of independence that the shoulders are down, the feet are down. Not much is going on with the left leg, but this right hip is rolling around that left femur. See what that feels like. And then come down and pause. Okay, so now we'll do this on the other side. So the legs basically stay in their railway tracks. The left hip lifts. Shoulders are down. Not much is going on with your ribs either. So your ribs are basically staying where they are. If you can, just don't go so high if they start to do something different. And you're feeling how your pelvis is going around this right leg. And we'll often independently move the right leg, but we don't normally move the hips independent of the legs. Okay, let's do one more of those. And then just pause. Take your right leg up to the sky and just have a look at your leg. And wherever it is, if you need to bend it to be up, do some bending. If it can be straight, let's see about that. Check to see how heavy you can be in your pelvis. How sort of down can you be in the pelvis? What kind of downness can you activate into the pelvis so it feels like it's wide? So even though this leg is up, you don't have it. You don't have the hips scooching up to the right armpit or anything like that. It's just the leg is like this pole coming down. The pelvis still feels heavy. And then bend that leg and take it down. Let's take up the left leg and feel that. So as soon as I do that, I notice that I get a bit of a scrunch up here in my groin at my left. And so that's what I'm talking about, is just releasing that so that there's no scrunch up in here. It's maybe what brought it up, but it doesn't need to keep it up. And then you just have the heavy pole coming down. The pelvis feels wide, nice plump pelvis at the back. And even this right foot isn't really doing much. It's not like you need it to let that foot stay up in the air. And then bend and take that down. Take the right one back up. And now let's externally rotate and just internally rotate it and just turn the thigh. Just find this movement of moving the leg bone in the hip socket and just have a look at your foot. So have your eyes open and just watch to see that you're not leading with your toes. And then now lead with your toes. Lead with your toes. Nothing wrong with leading with your toes. I just want to know the difference. What does it feel like if you lead with your toes? Maybe more of the leg is involved in a different way. So it's a different kind of coordination of muscles when we lead with the toes. Like for me, I'm thinking mostly the big toe mound. And I come with my crescent moon foot as I roll it in and out. And maybe I need more toes, more of the big toe and big toe mound to rotate it inwardly than I do to roll it out. Okay, take that foot down. Feel your pelvis is even and take the left leg up. And now let's do this first too. So without the foot, just let this rotation happen at the leg in the socket, just feeling curious about the leg, moving out and in. So different muscles, you're not using much in your foot, or you're not moving much in your calf or your knee. It's just higher up the chain of command. Like we need to understand that quite cleanly, I think. And then now use your big toe mound specifically. Like I said, I think it's going to be what really rotates. And you get this spiral line of movement and connection when you connect with your big toe to move the leg inwardly rotating. And you might get more of an inward rotation feeling when you connect with your big toe mound, rotating it in, and then it kind of releases to go out. That's how it works with mine. See if that's true with yours. Just feel the different kind of like string of connections in a spiral line, like something that it's using more muscles as you're doing this, but maybe it's in kind of a good coordinated way, or maybe it's fatiguing because you don't normally connect those muscles. We don't know. Okay, come back into the center, take that foot down. What does it feel like when we just let ourselves pause? Okay, let's bring the knees in towards the chest and do your little easy feeling. So, whatever that is with your knees into your chest so that your back gets some hydration, and then start to rock from side to side. Let's come into a smile massage twist. So you could put a block between your legs, or you could put your dowel behind the back of your legs, whatever it is that you're used to, or you can kind of free form it like this. Lean out with your big toes. I'm wanting to imagine that we're going to play with this a little bit more today, where you've got your mermaid fins here with the feet together. And so it's like the tops of the feet are trying to come together. So that's going to be part of this spiral line of the legs where the toes lean out and you're internally rotating the legs. So we're using that kind of quality with the legs, however you are supporting yourself. Let's take the knees up over to the left armpit and then to the right. So we've got a bit of strength through our legs. We're maintaining that leaning out of the big toes, the big toe mounds. The heads can go in the same direction that the knees are going. And it's that smile because it's going from one hip bone through the tail up to the other. You have this open quality in your armpit domes, kind of a wide quality through the side ribs, and a slight leaning of the index finger. So can we lean out through the big toes, the big toe mounds, have the tops of the feet kind of rolling in together, feeling the spiral line of the legs, even when the knees are bent like this, and also allow for some ease. So the legs have some strength. Can we soften other parts like our tummies? Can we have soft tummies? Can we have easy breathing? I don't know why I was hesitating to say the word tummy. I guess it just sounds a little, I don't know, familiar. Okay, let's finish up on the right hand side. Come back into the center and pause. Pause in your neutral. Again, I'm just going to hold my feet. You can have your feet down. You can have your knees to the chest in any way you'd like. Something that lets the dust settle after that kind of movement. Okay, one more thing while we're here on our back. So take your feet down, lift the right leg, feel the heaviness of the pelvis, externally rotate, bend the knee. And as you bend the knee, feel the pelvis go down with a little bit of a heaviness, and then let that right ankle go onto the left knee. And keep the heaviness of the pelvis and feel right from this sort of low side of your bum to the outside of your right thigh. Roll that out. so that the knee goes out to the side, but we don't do this. We don't like lift our pelvis up. We're just doing the downness of the pelvis and this external rotation that's happening here. See if you can isolate that it's coming from here, and then let's release. Take that foot down and then do this with the other side. So left leg up. So this downness of the pelvis. So it's like you're applying weight. So sometimes I apply weight by lifting my other foot or lessening its intensity. So that kind of implied weight. Externally rotate, bend, keep feeling that weight. Then put the left ankle onto the right knee. And then now from the outside of that left thigh, it's like you're connecting the bum and the outside of the thigh together. They're rolling out to the side. They're having this sandwich. They're pulling it out to the side and you're still breathing. So somehow we can do something kind of exertive and we can still be okay and feel sweet. Okay, release that and come back out. Let's do this on the other side again. Cross it over and then bring the knee out to the side and then now bring that bundle up towards your chest, keeping the pelvis balanced. So I know that there are different places that when I bring my knee in, my right hip will do something different. So I'm wanting to keep my pelvis exactly where it is. So I'm going super slowly and I'm not pulling it in with my hands. I'm just using my leg gathering. I might even feel the pubic bone and belly come together a bit, but I want to keep the downness of the back of the pelvis. But I'm not curving it up. Just for today, we could curve it up any other day. I'm just thinking of something different for today, keeping this length of the tail and then release your bundle of legs, pause. It's a lot of little picky instructions. Just let it go, whatever you don't get. Okay, left leg up, externally rotate, and let's put it there. Feel the heaviness of the pelvis, keep the flatness of the pelvis so it's not curving up or curving down, and then just bring the bundle of legs, maybe without your hands. That's what I'm suggesting. Without the use of your hands, keep the pelvis even and bring your bundle of your legs towards your chest. But you can feel a slight gathering of your pubic bone. It's like it's coming up towards your shoulders or your chest. And you can also feel a slight suctioning up of the sit bones, like they're going up the body. Feel that one. And that's going to really help to create some stability in your back and your pelvis. And then let's release that and pause. So much gumption used in that. So let's just see what we can relax after all that. So many small details. Let them all go. Let them just kind of like snowflake out. Okay, good. Maybe you want to roll over to your side to come up, or you can rock and roll to come up. However's going to work. Let's sit for a few moments. There's something that kind of has been occurring to me specifically today is about independent movements. And when we, what are the different places of like command centers that we could use to do movement? So let's just look at our fingers. And I want I'll start with our left hand, and we're just going to move each of the fingers and the thumb independent of the hand. So let's just start with the baby finger and take your other hand and just roll the finger, roll that little digit back and forth, side to side, but the hand stays still. Move to the ring finger and it's rolling. So we know that this has a slight independent movement. Okay, the middle finger rolling. And then the index finger. This is something we don't normally do, so feel this. Quite unique, I think. And then your thumb. Just back and forth rolling in that little socket. Okay, let's do this on the other side. So your left hand holds the baby finger on the right. And then the ring finger, middle finger, and then the index finger, and the thumb. And then just pause and just sit and just notice what do the fingers feel like right now. Okay, good. Open your eyes if they're closed. Take your elbows into the sides of your waist and have your hands into little fists. And keeping the radius and ulna basically still, just roll your fists around. So feeling that you have this isolation of the hand itself right at the wrist, rolling in both at the same time, whichever direction you've chosen to start with. And then we'll roll them the other way. Again, like the radius and all like there wants to be some movement around here. And so we're just like saying, not right now. We'll get there. Okay, good. Take the hands down, pause. So what do your wrists feel like right now? Your hands, your arms. All right, bring your hands back up into the fists. And this time, let's roll so that we have this radius moving as we're rolling around. Whatever direction you've chosen to start. And then the other direction. Okay, good. Pause. Let's just have the hands down and notice that sensation. Doing some learning by observing. Okay, bring the hands back up and just have the hands flat with the palms face down. And let's just see about moving at the elbows. So the elbows are tight into, well, sort of tightish into the side of the waist. And we're just rolling around the arms and then the other direction. And then release them from the side of your waist and allow more of your arm to happen as you're rolling these around. And it's easier to do standing. Reverse the direction just because you don't hit things. Okay, good. Pause. What's it like to be your arms, your shoulders, your hands, your mind? Let's do some circles with our torso. So we did this last week, I believe, where we came forward and the shoulders went back. And then as we go to the right, we lift the right shoulder and we drop the left shoulder down. And then as we take the back and we drop the head, the shoulders go forward. And then we go to the left one lifts, the right one goes down. We take the chest forward, lift the head a little, the shoulders go back. So to the right is up, left is down, go to the back, the shoulder heads are forward. Go to the left is lifted, the right is down, go to the center, the shoulders are back. One more to the right, to the back, to the left, to the front, and just dock yourself into neutral. Okay, let's come forward with the chest. Go to the left one lifts, the right one goes down. Go to the back, they go forward. Go to the right, it lifts, your left is down. Go to the front, your shoulder blades go back. To the left, to the back, to the right, to the front. One more to the left, to the back, to the right, the front, and then just dock yourself and just sit and notice. Okay, good. Let's release the legs. And I'm just going to suggest that we come onto a blanket. We'll come into tabletop. Okay, good. So just into a position of tabletop that suits. And let's just go into some cat and cow. So whatever that means. Just undulating through the spine. You can just let it go or initiate where it wants to. Sometimes we dictate really specifically where we start or where we end, and we can do that. But I just want you to notice where it goes naturally. And what are your natural tendencies? Like, what do you want to hold? Do you want to hold the back bend, or do you want to hold it when the back is convex? Or do you want to hold them at all? Do you feel the curve in your lower back? Do you feel the curve in your upper back? Which is the one that you identify more with or feel easier access with? It doesn't matter. And then come into a neutral and pause. So maybe the shoulders are a little bit behind, like right at the wrist instead of right over the hand. So just see that it's easier for your hands. That's what I'm hoping. And then tuck your toes under and feel that sense of maybe the knees come closer together. Feel that sense of the big toes pushing and the big toe mounds, and just feel how you can push into that and let it talk to this area of Samanavayu and into the lower back. So the toe activation into the ground, you're pushing it away and down, and just let it talk to that area and relax. So we'll just kind of like pulse this awareness into that area and back. We're not lifting the knees yet. We're just finding a communication channel, feeling that spiral line waking up. And the next time we do it, so feeling the hands, feeling the toes, feeling the spiral line, and then suction the sitting bones up through the spine and lift the knees. And then come down. Go into child's pose. So whatever kind of child's pose suits you at the moment. When I'm teaching these classes, I don't go into a full child's pose just because I've got mics all around. So I'm just kind of in aversion. Breathing and being easy. Then inhale and use your hands to come back. So feeling yourself back into tabletop. So feeling now, so you've got your hands from your armpits down to your hands, and then lean your index finger and your thumb together slightly. And then feel your big toe spiraling all the way to the quadriceps and to the Samanavayu in the belly. And then as you lift the knees, the sitting bones suction up through the spine to the crown of the head. And you're just off like about an inch or two, 3. Come down, pause. And then do that again, armpits down to wrists, and feel what happens. What kind of alignment happens when you widen your side ribs? Feel a slight suctioning of the index finger and thumb coming together, big toes, toe mounds, lift the knees, sitting bones, and then just let your legs straighten and you're in a more down dog position. Keep the relationship of your hands and arms and shoulders the same as they were when you were down. Drop the head. Okay, come back down into child's pose. Okay, inhale, come back up. Let's do that one more time. So feel your toes are tucked under and go from your armpits down to your hands, a slight smudging of your index finger and thumb coming together. Big toes, lift the knees, sitting bones up the spine, and then just take your hips up. You can walk yourself into a comfortable-ish position, but don't change very much. Keep those connections. We're maybe a bit stronger than we normally do. We're sometimes a bit lighter when we come into down dog. I'm just wanting to play with some strong connections. As you're standing here in down dog or standing in your V shape, feel your big toes, big toe mounds really spiraling up into the area of Samanavayu, to the lumbar spine. So your sitting bones suctioning all the way up to through the spine. But your head is kind of hanging if you're able to do that. And then let's walk our feet forward and remove the support that's on the ground. And just be in a forward fold. So just nice bent knee forward fold. Let your shoulders hang, your arms hang, the knees are bent so it'll be easier to stay here. Maybe your elbows go on to your knees. And then feel your big toes down. Feel your big toe mounds down. Shift your weight back and let's inhale and come up. Hands into heart. Just take stock of like when you've been hanging upside down and then you come up. Take stock of what it is you feel in the body and like where are there the tensions and the connections that we use to be upside down, the connections we used to be in a forward fold to now be standing. We might need to let some of those go. So let's just pause and feel that we're letting those go, whether the hands are at the chest or maybe they're at the sides. Okay, take the feet a little wider than the hips with the feet facing forward. Have a little bit of a bend in the knee, and let's go through the different vayus. So let's feel the big toes, big toe mounds, and inhale and exhale. Draw Samana Vayu, four fingers below the navel, towards the spine, and you feel your sacrum just sort of go down, not tucked, but just down. You feel this kind of sandwiching or meeting of the back and the front, but you can still breathe because there's lots of space for that. But you're bringing that awareness of the big toes to this area right here. Okay, we'll come into Pranavayu gate right here, about around parallel with the ribs. Inhale Exhale, big toes to Pranavayu. So feel it go from the toes to this. This goes back to the spine, and you feel this slight connection, but you can still breathe. You're strong in the feet, strong in the big toes. And then right here at Udana Vayu at the throat. So inhale, exhale, more down through the toes and slightly back through the front of the throat, a little bit longer through the back of the neck, a little wider through the back of the throat and neck. So we have these connections. So let's just see if we can keep those connections, have the knees stay in a nice bend, hands come to Samanavayu, and just shift your weight from one foot to the other. When you're on your right, your pelvis faces towards the left. When you're on your left, your pelvis faces right. And let's maintain that exact same pressure, or imagine we can, with the foot that we have the weight on and the foot that we have left the weight from. So both feet are feeling the same connection, and it's really coming to the Manavayu gate. So let's just play with this. Keeping the sense that the big toes and this downward length of the pelvis are in that relation. Okay, good. And sometimes we might want to play with this where we move the shoulders quite a bit or other parts, but we're really just playing with the movement of the pelvis around the legs. And the torso is moving with the pelvis. So it's not doing its own little thing. Not this time. Sometimes we can, and that can be fun. We don't want to only just be stiff, but we're learning a thing. We are having movement around our ankles. Maybe you can notice that. But it's less about movement of the knees. It's more about at the hips and at the ankles. Okay, once more to the right, once more to the left. Come back to the center, straighten the legs, and just pause wherever you want your hands. Notice breathing. Because we did that with such strength with the feet to this area of Samanavayu, come to something that feels a little softer right now in the mind and for breath and for holding the body. Okay, good. Let's turn the toes to face outward. They might need to walk a little bit wider apart. And let's now feel the knees bend. Feel the big toes, toe mounds come to Samanavayu and this sandwich of downward length of the lower back and the sacrum. And then we'll move the weight over to the left knee and we'll face over that way. We'll move the weight over to the right knee and we'll face that way. And let's just keep our hands at Samanavayu so that we can feel this kind of connection, that we're not losing that and we're not leading with our shoulders, which we could, we're not. Not now. Feel both feet to Samanavayu, both feet with the same kind of weight in their downness. And because it's kind of intense, because I'm saying feel those toes, because we sometimes don't. Sometimes it can make the jaw tight. So just notice if it has and don't necessarily change it. But maybe it just softens because you've noticed. Maybe your breathing is a little bit tense because I'm using that kind of tense voice of going, get to that place. So maybe you can just override the potential of tension and see that you can have strong connections in ease as well. Let's see about that. Okay, one more going over to the right, come back into the center, straighten the knees, keep the feet where they are unless you are having a problem with that, and just be here and breathe. Okay, we're going to bend down kicking the knees down and out. And so we're going to be using that same connection where the thigh and the outside of the side of the glute is going to be rolling that out. I'm going to roll that out. Those are going to connect together at the side. That's what we're going to be imagining doing. And as we also do this, there'll be this connection with the big toes, big toe mounds and Samana Vayu and this downness. So we're not going to come into like a back bend every time we bend the knees. We're not going to kind of like do this, right? We're going to keep down like that. We're going to imagine that. Let's see. Okay, so the toes are faced out. Big toes, Samana Vayu, down through the length of the sacrum. And you just come down to where you can come and come back up. Maybe push the hands away as you come down with the knees. Bring them in as you come up. Push away with the palms. Push away with the palms. Good. Just go to where you can go, keeping the movement happening at the outside. As you go down, it's rotating out. As you come up, more big toe to keep it pressed out. See if that works. You can coordinate a breath with this, or you could just infuse the movement with breath. And one more. And then stand up, take the toes and the feet and the legs in a comfortable position, just pause. Okay. So now I want to play with a different kind of balance. And when we come into it, we're going to lift up our left leg, and I want you to feel like you're sinking into the length of the lumbar spine when you lift this leg. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing when you come here. So standing in a place where you'll have mat on the left of you, lift up your left leg. And as you lift your left knee up, there's this downness and plumpness of the lumbar spine. Rotate to face the left. Shift your weight onto the left foot. Take your right heel to the sky. Bring the right knee up. Just pause here. Feel a little bit convex in the back. Activate through the big toes of both feet. But as you start to straighten this right leg out, feel your sitting bones have pulls that go down through that right leg. Take the foot down. Come to face forward, lift the left knee, straighten that foot up. Bring the knee bent. Turn to face the left, heel, toe, draping yourself over this left leg. Lift the right leg. Feel the convex quality of your back. Activate your right toe and toe mound. And as you start to straighten this right leg, feel your sitting bones like a pull going down that right leg. Stand on the right leg. Lift your left knee. Straighten the foot. Bend the knee. Turn to face the left. Heel, toe, draping over the left leg. And as you lift your right leg, you'll feel the quad nests yawn open. And then activate the big toe mounds of the right foot. The rebar go down through that right leg. And then take the foot down and come and stand. Pause. Okay, good. Let's do this on the other side. So let's lift the right leg and then take it to the right. Heel, toe, draping over the right leg, quad nest yawn in, big toe engagement of the left leg. And then as you start to straighten, it's that rebar from the sitting bone out through that left leg. Stand on the left leg. Bring the right leg around. Knee up, straighten foot or the leg. Bend the knee. Heel, take it to the right, take it from the heel, roll through the toe. Stand draping over this right leg, lift the left knee, activate the big toes, and then rebar from the sitting bone to straighten that left leg. Take yourself down on the left foot. Bring the right knee up. Straighten the foot, the leg. Bend it one more time over here to the right heel. Toe, weight on the right leg. Quanestión in. Engage the big toes of your left foot. Rebar from the sitting bones going down through that leg. Take the foot down. Come back. Pause in the middle. Okay. So let's now move into something that has another roiling kind of movement around with the hips. So let's lift the left leg up and we're going to take it to the left. And as we step onto that, we'll scooch the right heel back. So it's about a 45-degree angle back. And then shift your weight over to the right foot. Have your hands ready. And then you're going to scooch to the left, push the palms away. Bring the palms in front of the chest back. You're facing a little bit more to the right. And then as you rotate at the hips to face the left, you push the palms away. And then bring the palms in. The weight's on the right foot. Rotate at the hips. Pushing the palms, coming back, rotating, keeping yourself at the same height. And just slow motion, kind of roiling hips. The hands are going to always stay at about the same height around the chest, and they don't go wider than the chest, or they don't cross. They stay in front, like the power of the front of the chest the whole time. And we're going to be playing with the big toe mounds actively in Samanavayu gait the whole time, and see if we can feel that even downness of the feet to Samanavayu, the downness of the back of the pelvis. One more and come back in. Pause and then lift the right leg. Take it heel toe, take the back heel back. Come back, and now it's the palms go over to the right, the hips face front. They come back a little bit to the left, and then they roil around to the right. And you're breathing. I find I like to do this with my eyes closed, but that might not always be ideal for some people, but I just find that that's kind of where I go, and I can really feel what's going on at the head of these femur bones. I can feel my pelvis having this rotation, and that my torso is part of the pelvis when I'm doing it like this. And that the hands are just part of it. Just adding another layer of complexity to the movement around the leg bones. One more. Come back into the center, easy stance. Pausing. Okay, good. Open your eyes. Now let's just come into a couple standing poses, because maybe you noticed that those resemble some of the standing poses in different ways. Let's come into triangle, come into a little skier's tuck, and we'll take this right leg back for Trikonasana. We're going to take the left heel out of alignment, and then as we corkscrew that in, then we'll tip the hips. Maybe lift the right hand or just keep it on the pelvis, feeling both of the big toe mounds communicating to Samana Vayu to keep that kind of sandwich of the belly to the back of the pelvis. Pausing here, just breathing. Inhale, face the front edge of your mat. Take your right foot forward and pause in the front. Bend down to your skier's tuck. Lift the left foot and take it back for triangle. Take your heel out of alignment so you're on the big toe. You're going to be able to feel the big toe to Samana Vayu to the back of the pelvis. Corkscrew that foot in and let your body just follow it as it needs to. And then just find the tipping. Strong feet to Samana Vayu, strong feet to sandwich the Samana Vayu to the back of the pelvis. And then just feel the shoulders rotate. So the bottom shoulder goes forward, the top shoulder goes back. More about your rib cage than it is about your pelvis, just so we're not torquing the pelvis. Stay here and breathe. Inhale, come up, turn to face the front edge of the mat. Step and just pause. Let's bend and take the right leg back, and we're going to come into prep for warrior one. So bend the knees, feel your big toe mounds coming into Samana Vayu, the low back, and then take your hands with your fingertips to the chin, and then just smudge on the back toes and just take that pelvis to face front edge of the mat. Maybe the back heel comes down. You're kind of wedging that leg and that foot into the ground, and your weight is back a little bit at this start. And so you can feel how something is being prepped for the pelvis and prepped for containment, but maybe still for breath. Let's see if we can still breathe. And then shift your weight forward into your front foot a little bit more, keeping the back. And as you do that, you might start to feel like you can get more to the outside edge of that back foot or more fully into that back right foot. Arms can go up or stay down. Shift your weight forward, take your right foot forward, pause at the front of the mat, breathing. Bend down, skier's tuck, left leg goes back for warrior one. So you're finding yourself in your sitting, feel your big toes, and feel the communication to Samana Vayu and the length of the sacrum. And then fingertips to chin as you just rotate and smudge the back foot. Maybe take the foot down and then just feel your weight is still more on the back. You're probably more on the inside arch of the back left foot. Today, we've been working really strongly with the big toes to connection of Samana Vayu. So keep that as you then shift your weight more forward into this front knee. And then you see the shift that happens with your back foot. Lift your weight to come forward. Hands at heart or at your sides. And then warrior two. Lifting your weight, take the right leg back. So it's a bit of a wider stance. Take your heel out of alignment again, feel your big toes to Samanavayu. And then as you corkscrew that front foot, the heel aligns and you take this knee to be bent. Bring your arms up if you'd like. Feel both feet communicating into Samanavayu. A little bit of space at the sides of your neck. Wide through the side ribs. If you'd like, you can even reach out even more with the fingertips. Little extra length. The relationship of the big toes and the relationship of the index fingers. Take your hands down, turn to face the front edge of the mat, lower your center of gravity. Right foot comes forward, pausing, hands to heart. Other side, left leg goes back, a little wider than we sometimes do. The right heel comes out so that we're on the big toes of both feet. Feel Samanavayu and at the lumbar and the sacrum going just down. And then as you corkscrew and smudge the big toe, bending this right knee, maybe bring your arms. Feel the big toes, the big toe mounds, feel the index finger. Feel all of the Vayu gates. Release the arms, lower your center of gravity, take the left leg forward, pausing. And then let's just take this right leg back and then turn so that the toes face in, the heels are a little bit wider. Take the hands at the hip creases, we'll come into pyramid. So as we do so, just feel the kind of push at the top of the thighs if that works for you, and just bend forward, take the hips back behind the heels, make it nice and sweet. And then you can release the hands to the ankles of the floor or wherever you'd like. Does it work to drop the head? Can you feel a traction that's happening possibly through the spine? Can you be strong through the big toes, the big toe mounds? Can you feel that communicating all the way into the quad nests and the groin and the Samanavayu gate, 4 fingers below the belly? Make a triangle. And then feel your armpits trying to go to the wall behind you, just as a way of playing, feeling your Samanavayu trying to go to the pubic bone and the pubic bone trying to come to Samanavayu gate. And then release that. Take your hands to the front edge of the mat. Take your left foot back, down dog. Come down into child's pose. And then inhale and use your limbs to come up. Walk yourself forward. We're going to come down and just do wind release with the legs on the ground. So do you want to have your blanket unfolded and beyond that? We're going to go from that into Shavasana. So take what you'd like for coming down. And as we're down, just have a moment of pausing first. And notice what you notice, because the standing poses, we were really bringing in some strength through the poses, and trying to find ease as well. And sometimes when we're learning that balance, some parts of us were still bracing, like a jaw here or there, or the diaphragm here or there, or I don't know, some parts of us, our neck. I don't know what is your signature tension, but maybe we had some tension. But we're good enough as we are. So just notice it and just go, oh, I had tension in places, or maybe I didn't. Let's bring the right knee in towards the chest, just holding the hands maybe on the knee or the back of the thigh. And if you'd like, you can straighten your left leg out and extend out through the big toe of both feet. So that both legs have this kind of inner corkscrewing, this inner line of rotating inwards just naturally because of that. And then hold the knee in as the knee tries to escape. Keep the base of your skull down, lowest back ribs down. Maybe the lumbar goes down. And then release that leg, bend the left, have a moment of pausing. And then let's take the left knee in and hold it where you do, and then keep that knee bent or glide out with the right leg. Activate out and pushing away with the big toe mounds of both feet to find that corkscrewing and internal rotation. And use that force of the knee trying to escape, but you're holding it still. Use that to communicate with length of the back body. So the lumbar down, the base of the skull down, but you can still breathe. And then release. Now we started off like this at the beginning of the class with the knees bent and the body on the ground. Do we have the same feelings in the mind and the body? Has anything shifted? Are there different feelings of in the connections of the body? Or do we feel the same as when we walked in? Let's just take stock of that. Notice through contrasts or similarities. If there's anything else your body wishes to do, go and do that right now. Maybe it's a twist, or maybe you're completely ready to go into your Shavasana. Seeing that if you're doing something besides getting into Shavasana, just see that you're all balanced from side to side, and then take the form of your final relaxation pose the way you'd like. The integration pose is what some people call it. And if you're on your back now, let's just take a few breaths that are Perhaps a count of five. So, like you're inhaling for the count of five, exhaling for the count of five. As you inhale for the count of five, and exhale the count of five, just see if you can notice and possibly settle the body, arrange it with the ground. Maybe as you're arranging and settling, you can bring your imagination into it and bring your mind's eye to your legs specifically, and just imagine what would it feel like if your legs were so heavy, like sandbag legs. What would it feel like if your legs were so heavy and warm, like sandbag legs coming down, kind of like melding into the ground? What would that feel like? And then move your awareness to your arms and imagine what would it feel like if your arms were super heavy, like heavy sandbag arms, heavy and warm sandbag arms melding down to the ground. Bring your mind's eye to the whole torso as one. Imagining what would it feel like if your torso were really heavy sandbag torso, like warm sandbag melding down to the ground. And imagine what it would feel like if your head was also super heavy, really heavy sandbag head, warm and melding down to the ground. Feeling the whole body as one, heavy and down to the ground. The whole body as one, heavy, melding down to the ground. Noticing the sensation as the ground meets the heaviness of the body. And start to notice that the more you release into heaviness, the lighter the body feels. The more you release into the ground, the body becomes light. Stay in this dichotomy as you integrate in Shavasana. And just gradually notice where you are in space. Staying relaxed but expanding your breaths. And then just start to find movements that integrate the mind and the body and the breath. When you're ready, you can come up to sit, or you can continue to stay in your Shavasana if that suits you best. Namaste, and thanks for joining in the way that you can.